I have no idea, but that guy, thing, angel, saved our lives that day. So we got out on the first floor, and all of a sudden I realized we are right by the lobby of Tower 1. This is where it all begins for me every day. And I said, this is great. We go through the revolving doors, walk through the lobby, we're out the revolving doors, we're out of the building. It's the fastest way out. But there were police and firefighters there, and they were telling us, no, go the other way. You have to go through the mall, go through the atrium, go through the stores. I mean, it was a long walk, believe me. And I thank God every day that they were there to do that. Because had we gone out the way I wanted to go out, it would have put us out on West Street. You know what's going on West Street? That's where people were jumping. I saw it, you saw it in the video. I remember the picture in the New York Post, believe it or not, and I have that paper still, that caught that picture, by the way. And I remember thinking to myself, if I would have seen that live, I would have been put away a long time ago. I wouldn't have been able to deal with that. So I thank God every day that they were telling us to go the other way. As we're walking through, it's literally raining, all right, from the sprinklers. And Virginia said to me, every time a drop hit her arm, she said it was like a knife going through her arm. She was in so much pain. And she said to me, Ari, please call my mom, tell her I'm okay. I said, give me the number, I'll punch it into my phone, but let's get out of the building first. We get to the exit, we get out of the building, and there are police and firefighters, and they're telling everybody, uptown, everybody uptown. And people were literally running uptown. I stopped the cop and I said, I got a burn victim here, where do we go? What do we do? He said, go across the street in front of the Millennium Hotel. We're setting up a triage center. The ambulance will be there, take her there, and you'll be okay. Went across the street, and sure enough, an ambulance pulls up. I get her into the ambulance, and I breathe a sigh of relief. Because at least now I know she's getting medical attention. And that's what counted. I step out of the ambulance, and I turn around, and I looked up the buildings. And there was a guy standing next to me, and I said to him, how did building 2 get on fire? See, I knew how building 1 got on fire. There was a bomb in the elevator, or there was a little plane that went into the elevator. You gotta remember, when my wife said to me about a plane going into the building, what I saw in my mind was these little Piper Cubs, these little Cessna planes, because we always saw them flying around below us. Anyway, so that's what I thought. So I had no idea. And the guy looks at me like I'm crazy, and he says to me, are you kidding me? 2 jetliners went into the buildings. They're calling it a terrorist attack. I look at him like he's crazy. I go, what are you talking about? You see, I never heard that second plane. And people look at me like I'm crazy. What do you mean you never? How's that possible? I'll tell you, I was so focused on the task at hand. I had one job and one job only, and that was to make sure that Virginia gets out alive. That I get her, and I get her help. That was my job. All right? So everything else was totally blocked out, and I never ever heard that second plane. When this guy tells me the plane, I'm running scared. I take out my cell phone, I'm trying to call my wife, trying to call Virginia's mom, can't get signal, there's nothing going on. I'll never forget, I asked one of the EMTs there, I said, do you know why I'm not getting any signal? He goes, oh yeah, it's all the equipment that we have around here. I'm going, you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't tell him that, but that's what I was thinking. So then I turned to the ambulance driver, I said, wait a minute, why aren't you leaving? He goes, we can't leave until we fill the ambulance. We're expecting a huge amount of casualties, and until we get 7, 8 people in the ambulance, we're not going anywhere. They wouldn't let Virginia lay down. She had to be sitting up, and she was writhing in pain. She kept telling me, because I kept checking on her, she kept telling me, Ari, oh man, it's so much pain. Finally, they finally filled the ambulance, and the guy says, okay, we're ready to go. And I go like, oh great. As soon as that ambulance leaves, I'm going one place and one place only. That's back into the building. Because I'm looking for my friends, I'm looking for my coworkers, and I'm looking to help. That's the only place I'm going. Right? Good. Ready to roll. Virginia turns to me, she says to me, Ari, you're coming with us. I looked at her and I said, Virginia, you don't need me anymore. I'm going to get a hold of your mom. She's going to meet you at the hospital. You're going to be okay. She turns to the ambulance driver. She says, we're not leaving unless he comes with us. I look at the ambulance driver. He looks at me. I see it in his eyes. He's thinking, this is not a cab service. I'm thinking, I don't need a cab. All right? But I look at her and I went like, you know what, maybe for her own psychological benefit, maybe I should just come. He said, fine, hop into the front. And I got into the front of that ambulance, we pulled away. We were one of only a few ambulances that actually got away from the scene that day. I have friends who are members of Atzola, the volunteer ambulance company. They showed me pictures of crushed ambulances at the scene. Who saved whose life? Virginia thanks me every day for saving her life, and I tell her, you got it all wrong. If she wouldn't have insisted that I get into that ambulance, I would have been standing at the base of that building when it came down and I would be dead. No doubt in my mind. But she insisted that I get into that ambulance. And that's why I'm here today. We got to St. Vincent's Hospital, which was on 12th Street, and all about the money. I work with guys that were multi-millionaires that were in the office at 6:30 in the morning. Why? The bigger house, the bigger boat, the bigger car, the nicer vacation, the next promotion. That's all they cared about. That's what life was all about. It was all about the money. And you know what? I was guilty of the exact same thing until that day. My kids used to say to me, Daddy, can you come on the class trip? We're going to the zoo. No, Daddy's got to work. Daddy, can you come to the class play? I got the lead role. No, Daddy's got to work. Daddy, can you come to mock trial? You know, that's after school, so that's after work, so you could be there, right? No, Daddy's got to work late. Daddy's got to work, Daddy's got to work, Daddy's got to work. That was always the refrain until that day. Today, Daddy's on the class trips, Daddy's at the school plays, Daddy's wherever his children and now grandchildren need him to be, because that is what is important in life. But there's more to it than that. I realized I was plucked out of a burning, collapsing building and given a second chance. Given a second chance. There aren't a lot of people that can say that. Few, but not a lot. And it was literally as if God was telling me, I'm giving you a second chance, what are you going to do? And I made a decision that I was going to change. My life was going to change. All right? One of the first things that I promised myself was, I was not going to swear anymore. No curse words, no four-letter words. And let me tell you, when you work on Wall Street, that is not an easy task. These guys are worse than drunken sailors. But I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you what did happen. What happened was, whenever there was a meeting, whether it was around my desk or in a conference room that I was involved with, nobody at that meeting would curse. Nobody would swear. Because everybody knew Ari Schonbrun does not swear. So look at the effect it had on the people around me, because I made a decision. You know, we're living in very, very turbulent times these days, right? And it's like, you kind of wonder, you know, what is going on in the world? And what can I do about it? Well, you know, God gave us a blueprint for life. And the blueprint is called the Torah, all right? So for me, it's very simple. I got the whole map. It's right there. If I don't know what to do, I just look at it. I ask my local rabbi, whatever, and I know what to do. It's so easy for me, you know? And I talk to my audiences all the time, and I tell audiences, do you want to help improve this world? Do you know what our job is, by the way, in this world? I figured it out. It is to leave it a better place when we go than when we got here. That's our job. Make this world a better place from the time we get here until the time we leave. Make it a better place. How do you do that? Well, there are a lot of ways to do that. Maybe it's giving more charity. Maybe it's being, you know, visiting the sick. How about kindness? How about a smile? Do you know how far a smile goes? I'll never forget, I got onto an elevator once, one of the crowded elevators, and as soon as the door is shut, you know, and whenever you get on an elevator, how do you get onto an elevator? You get onto the elevator and then you turn this way towards the door, right? That's what everybody does, right? So when I walked onto the elevator, all these people were facing me, looking at me. When the doors closed, I said, you're probably wondering why I called this meeting. And that's exactly what happened. They all laughed, all right? And I'll tell you something, all those people in that elevator, their day was a much better day because of it. Because it brought a smile to their face. Bring a smile to somebody's face, okay? You'll see how contagious that is. Now, the rabbi I know mentioned about classes and the like. That's another thing that you can do, by the way, that will help you to become a better person.